But joining us now are co-founders, Dr. Erinn Tucker, Chef Farrard Tate, and Andra Johnson, a managing partner of Cocktail Bar Serenata in Northeast. Thank you all for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is what is this? Which annual one is this? The third?
Yes.
Fantastic. And
from the beginning for just letting us know that you're there and helping us make it possible. So thank you for always being there for us.
Well, I love restaurants. And not just a week, but all the time. My husband said, "What are we going to do for dinner tonight?" He said, "Let's find a restaurant." I said, "Okay, I'll figure one out after the show today." So thank you all for doing this. And I just want to start. I don't want to do a lot of history because, I mean, I know, or maybe someone can jump in and tell us, why a Black Restaurant Week. So I'll ask that question first.
Well, the restaurant industry is very hard even for anybody to start. And so we knew that we needed to provide education and opportunity for us to come together to support our restaurants, which tells the story of our history through our food and our culture so much. So we knew that we needed to come together to support the entity that employs so many people also. So DMV Black Restaurant Week is about all of us working together to make sure our restaurants stay alive.
Yeah, and if I could, sorry, Dr. Tucker, if you wanted to go ahead. Yeah, I think that part of what was so special about our restaurant week from the jump was that we made a conscious decision at the beginning of including businesses that were restaurant, like in every single facet, right? So if you couldn't sit down and have a 3-course meal, you could still get a coffee, you could still get something from a food truck, you could still get something from a caterer, and including those businesses in there as well, because the cost of entry and the barrier to enter the restaurant industry is so high. And I think, number one, that's kind of what sets us apart.
Sorry about that. Fantastic. And that's what I liked also is that, it's just not those, white tablecloth places that you go to, but like you said, we're getting ready to do a story on a popcorn guy, I don't know if he's a part, but, those are the things that I think make Black Restaurant so exciting and what you all do really all year long. What is going to be exciting? What's going to happen this year? What do you all have planned?
Absolutely. So our motto is culture, education, and good food. And that's what we live throughout the year. This year, we always have a conference, but this year our Food and Beverage Education Conference is taking place virtually over 5 days. It is free. Tell everyone they can sign up all over the country to learn from the best. And the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area has the best talent. And we are going to showcase that while teaching everyone about different aspects of the business, whether it's how to get your business started, whether it's understanding your mission and where culture fits into the area, how can you can include tech, everything that it takes. So we want restaurant owners. If you can't make it, send your managers. Wherever you are in the country, come on, register, and we've got all the information for you. That starts on Tuesday and we go through Saturday.
And we're at headquarters now over in Virginia, having an amazing lunch experience. So these restaurants are open, they're safe, and they need you to come in and participate in a wonderful dining experience.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Farrard, because that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about. I mean, restaurants have taken a real hit during COVID, and some of them have had to shut down. Some are reopening with, of course, limited seating capacity, and some of them have just shut down altogether. But what have you all observed, and what is keeping some of those restaurants, besides, of course, customers supporting them, which is the bottom line, but what do they need to do in order to get through this period, this pandemic?
Well, we chose the power of collaboration as our theme, but it is more than just a cry. We need to come together. Our cities have provided a lot of information and support, financial support also. So you kind of connect up with your city. But you also connect up with organizations like RAMW and all the other organizations in DC, the Urban League, to know that you're not by yourself. And we are asking individuals to make it a part of your weekly schedule to dine out, to literally have someone come in to order food and bring it home with you. And what about you, Dr. Tucker?
Absolutely. One of the things that AJ mentioned was the fact that we were always inclusive from the beginning, so we didn't have to pivot. But what we realized with our restaurants is the fact that many of our restaurants that were in the neighborhoods during COVID actually took a very hard hit March and April, but then somewhere around June, July, they started to get more business. There was a focus on buying local. There was a focus on buying for Black-owned restaurants. And so a lot of our neighborhood restaurants actually saw an increase. And what we realized very quickly is that they needed the support from tech. They needed the support from mobile platforms so people could just literally place their orders and then come and pick them up. So the stories that you're not hearing about are the smaller takeout neighborhood spots that do not get the national attention. And that's the reason why we focus so much local. We're hyper local, hyper regional for that reason.
And AJ, won't you add to that?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I saw through this entire pandemic was that if you already had a business where you could do to go, you were okay pretty much. It took businesses like mine, right? Like trying to figure out how to package a cocktail to go that took us a little bit to kind of figure out. But it really was about adding the technology and the platforms to get to other businesses. DC, just as from a food culture, has a very, very, very heavy stance in carry-out culture. And so it became the norm. It became what everybody needed. So yes, there was definitely a drop-off, and there has been drop-offs in terms of restaurants. But I think from the standpoint of where we're looking at from Black-owned businesses and businesses owned by other POCs, if you've already had that to-go carry-out culture part of your business already, you were pretty much okay to get through. And it really wasn't just about reaching more people and being more accessible. And so it's really good to see right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. And the other thing I think with that is technology. I think I heard Dr. Tucker mention that, but some of our businesses, back before COVID, it may have been difficult. And I'm not saying Black-owned businesses, I'm saying businesses in general, to reach folks by phone, ordering online. All of that was not the norm, and now you're talking about it is the norm. But will the education part of this explore how technology can support businesses going forward?
Yeah, without a doubt, we have done so much teaching. That's why the conference is so important, because we're providing you the information and the support to activate the information. Technology is going to be one thing that kind of levels the playing field for a lot of our small restaurants, to make sure that we're using tech services, we're using grab and go techniques. So our conference is free, and we made every restaurant can participate this year for free because of the support that we've got from Washington and all the other agencies and all the other people sponsoring. They made it possible for everyone to participate at no cost. So please, how do we get connected to the conference?
All right, dmvbrw.com. Also follow us at dmvbrw on our social media platforms. We start Sunday.
Yeah, and it goes for the whole year.
I know that you all are probably sitting there at the table trying to finish your lunch while the rest of us are starving, wishing we were where you are having lunch. But the mayor hasn't joined us yet, so we don't have to rush off of this conversation because there's more. I mean, this is the DMV. This is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And yes. So, how do those restaurants connect with you all if they? I don't know if they can now, but
they can
to be a part of this initiative.
Okay, AJ.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take this for sure. So obviously, we opened up the registration about a month before, right? And this year, we've never had this many people sign up. And I am so proud to be a part of this particular programming, because what we've done and what we've tried to do throughout these now 3 years of this event is make sure that people are connected to the information that is out there and readily available, but may not get to them, right? And so, yes, this year, it's really about giving back to the restaurants, right? It's a free registration. As far as I know, the link is still open.
Yep.
Right? Okay, the link is still open. We're taking people midweek. The link is open. Please sign up, because one of the benefits that comes with the sign up, and it's the biggest benefit, is that you do this year Instead of just getting the 1 year free to RAMW, you're getting 2 years free to RAMW. And what that means is that you're then included in all of the emails that they send out. You're included in all the programming that they send out. You're now on their radar for doing events with RAMW, with other restaurants that then you're now attached to, and pushing your and elevating your business to where you need it to be, and possibly reaching people that you never reached before. This is something,
So,
and
Andrea,
again, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go on.
I
have another question for you, though. Go ahead.
It's the caterers, it's the mixologists that do the private events. It is the small business coffee shop. It is the cocktail bar. It is everybody. And that is something for this year that, the 2 years free for any business is a huge, huge plus.
You're not by yourself. You're not by yourself in this game. We're here together to collaborate, to help you continue to serve your community amazing food. What's your next question, Denise?
Yeah, thank you, Farrard. I feel like I'm the guest now, but
you can all this now. So.
I gotta ask Andrea, because she said, you said you had to kind of figure out, how to do cocktails so that you can kind of tell us if it's not a secret. Tell us what you did. How did you address that?
Well, thanks to the mayor and a lot of pushing, and honestly, there's a lot of restaurant organizations and owners that got together and really pushed for things to be able to help our businesses stay open. The DC restaurant industry brings in so much money, so many jobs. And so it was imperative that we figured that out. So the rules changed, right? But we were able to sell bottles. If you didn't have an off-premise license, you could sell a bottle out of your store. That was a very fun way to just get rid of products, right?
Okay.
Which you could never do before. But then pouches, right?
Yeah.
And actually this year,
that sounds like you've kind of figured it out. So that's a good thing. That's good. We are going to have to move on now. We just got the signal, but I'm glad that you all figured this out. And again, if people want, we're going to post the information on the screen right now. Farrard, you had a closing word?
Yeah, we just want to thank all of the people like yourself and all of the sponsors that made it possible. Please go online.
DMPED, DMVBRW.com. Thank you. Office of Nightlife, DMPED, DCRA. Thank you, Washington Gas. Thank you, Thompson Hospitality. Thank you so much.
And visit your local restaurant. Use your phone, take pictures, and
all right.
If they're not on there.
Thank you all so much.
Where do you